Hello and welcome to How Hollywood Works. I'm your host, Molly Hersh, and today we are so thrilled to be joined by comedian, actor, and producer who is currently starring in the hit TV show The Goldbergs, Jeff Garlin.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So happy you're here.
Thank you. That was an
There he
inside joke
is.
for him. Okay, so we're all good.
So
Yes.
we're all good.
Yes.
So Jeff,
Oh, that's the name of the show, How Hollywood Works?
there it is. Right
I have
there.
no idea.
Well, now you
No,
know.
you know, I don't. So we've already been wasting our time. It's been nice being here. Would be great if I knew how Hollywood works and I just told you the secrets and it was only between us.
And
Go
then
ahead.
we'd be done.
Ask me anything you want.
So Jeff,
Yes.
you're clearly a multi-hyphenate guy. You do all these things.
I do a lot of things.
A lot of things.
Yes.
What do you consider yourself first? Are you an actor who evolved into producing, or are you a comedian who kind of fell into acting?
I, more than anything, am a comedian. I am a really good actor when the material's good. If the material's bad, I'm as bad as the material.
Yeah.
So I consider myself a comedian.
So are you really selective when you see a script? You don't?
Yes, at this point in my career, I am very selective. Yes, I am.
What do you look for?
What do I look for? I don't look for anything. I just look for good writing. The writing's good. If it hits me, I don't look for anything anything specific. I do, if there is a nude scene, I say yes immediately because I know America likes me naked. Actually, the Goldbergs, I'm in my underwear all the time.
Oh, yeah.
All right, go figure. I was making a joke, and then I thought, well, maybe I am naked. All right, go ahead.
So speaking of
I
the
have been naked
Goldbergs-
in a movie. I know.
Yeah?
Yes. Well, the movie was Spring Break. It was about spring break in Fort Lauderdale, and I shot a moon. So I shouldn't say naked. My tush. And I was 20 at the
Lovely.
time, so really, go back and watch.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I'll watch it now. There you
Okay.
go. So Goldbergs,
Yes.
it's so good. It's funny, it's
you.
grounded, and it's real. I think
Yes.
that's one of the most appealing things about it is that it's such a real show. When you
Mm-hmm.
watch it, it's like you're there. And I mean, a lot of it's actually known for being based on the creator,
Adam Goldberg's life.
Goldberg's
Yes.
childhood.
Yes.
They see, they show some clips and
Yes.
everything.
Now I'm obsessing, by the way, that I talked about nudity on a high school show. A 52-year-old man. See, here's a lesson, a Hollywood lesson. If you're on a show and you just talk and whatever, you will say something you regret.
You know
Just
what?
letting you know, that's a lesson for everyone here. Eventually, let's say you talk for 5 minutes. In that 5 minutes, you're going to say something, and you say, "Why did I say that?"
First
What was
2
the
minutes of the
purpose that?
show, and we already have a regret. I
Yes.
like it. That's
Oh no, I have many
that
regrets.
makes a good
I
show.
regret even coming.
Oh,
so I'm
ouch.
I'm
Bye.
loaded with regrets. You have no idea. I'm a big bowl of regrets. Never huge regrets, just the kinds that just gnaw at you. I have those. Like I'll lay in bed at night and I won't be able to fall asleep because regrets are just the day's regrets are gnawing at me. I forget about them though pretty quick.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So back to
No, that's not. But to stay where we're at.
yeah.
Do you have regrets?
You know what? I like to live my life and not have regrets.
Good
I
for you.
think-
You're
I mean, I
16.
do.
You're going on 17
Tomorrow.
Yeah, 17 tomorrow. To have that, good for you. Try not to have regrets.
I mean, I do. Everyone does, but I think it's nice to live your life and try not to regret. I mean, I wouldn't regret it.
What?
So you said something. It's a conversation.
yeah, that's just me, and
That's
I'll
how
lay
it
in bed
goes.
tonight thinking that. And by the way, I'll have a T-shirt and underwear on in bed. See, I regret that too. You should know when I sleep in, but there I shared it. But I wanted to make sure that everyone knows I'm not naked when I sleep, and I have my regrets.
Do you regret
There is
that too?
By the way, if I'm naked, I can't sleep.
Really?
Yep, can't sleep naked.
Why?
I'm just uncomfortable. I'm not afraid that groups of people will walk in and go, "Look, he's naked," but I just don't feel comfortable. Because you know what? I'm not a big blanket guy. Something else. But I don't regret that. You should know. Love my pillows. Don't love a blanket. See, most things when you talk about how Hollywood works, you're not going to find that stuff out. We've gone under by staying in the moment. But keep going. Go ahead. Ask me a question.
How naked movies work. I should change the title.
By the way, speaking of which, how naked movies work, I have a show. I have a podcast called By the Way, and it's not out yet, but I just but it's a conversation thing with Michael Sheen, who's on a show called Masters of Sex.
Oh, yeah.
And I asked him about the nude scenes that he has, which are a lot of them having sex. And It's much more. But the thing is, if you've ever been on a set, the last thing you want to do is a sex scene. And I'm not even speaking for me. I'm speaking for my friends who have sex scenes. I have a movie coming out Friday. It's my first sex scene, but it's not a sex scene. It's just me making out with a lady who I don't know. And we filmed it at 5 in the morning. I didn't know her. It was wrong. Okay. All right, let's go back to it.
Back to it.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Okay.
But I can tell you that I love my pillows. And blankets, I just get too hot. But I'll lay there with regrets all night long. You know what my wife will do? My wife will turn over to me, say things to me that I can do nothing about, and then she goes to sleep, having put it on me. And I just stare at the ceiling. Oh, that's enjoyable.
Marriage, everyone. That's
by the marriage is great, but it
how
sucks.
marriage works. We got so many titles going now.
How marriage works, yes. Marriage is wonderful but horrible. You've seen your parents. All right, keep going.
So back to Adam Goldberg.
No, see, stop with the back.
Oh, my God.
It's just where we're going right now. Just ask the question. Go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goldberg's is based on a lot of true things, real life things that
happened with
in his
Adam
childhood.
Goldberg, yes.
Are they all based on real scenarios, or are some of them kind of,
As far as
made
I
up?
know, they're all based on real scenarios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do other people contribute, or is it just his?
No, I think some of the writers will tell a story about their youth, and it ends up
it
in
all
the
comes
show.
together.
Yeah, but it's all based on the truth to a degree. Yeah.
Nice.
I got to tell you, this Beverly Hilton water, delicious.
Okay. It's good?
It comes from the river that runs by the Beverly Hilton, and they purify it. It's delicious.
So, Goldberg's, you love it.
Goldberg's, I love it. Yes.
Nice.
Yes, nice.
That's
That is
good.
good.
That's good.
I know people who are on shows, and I have been a person in a movie that I hate, and that stinks. You know when you hate it? When you do it for the money.
Yeah.
Well, it's just you take a gig for the money, and at first you're like, you're going to pay me that much, and then you do it, and you go, this ain't worth it.
Do you feel like as you've, gotten older and been in the industry longer, you've kind of, chosen things that are more like characters who are based off of, like your own personality?
No, but I look to see if I can play it or not. But I do know that when you do it for the money, it really, the joy is not there, because you want to do it just because the work's good. So, if you can, like Curb Your Enthusiasm, for example, show that I was on, and hopefully we'll do more. That is joyful and fun and good, and they paid me good, at least towards the end.
Yeah. So that leads me to
What?
the real reason why you're here.
Which is?
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, the real reason.
You gotta give us
Okay.
some scoop.
Scoop of what?
Are there more seasons to come?
I hope so. I hope so.
Because we're hungry.
Oh well,
I love that
that's
show.
Oh, you're very kind. I hope so. Yeah, I'm hoping.
It's a great
We
show.
talk. Right now, Larry David has written a play, and he's going to be starring on Broadway in a play. So, and I'm doing the Goldbergs, but I can still do Curb Your Enthusiasm. So hopefully, in a year or two, we'll do some more.
It's such a great show.
Thank
and you
you.
know what I love about it? It's very similar to the Goldbergs in that they're both very real. They're grounded, in reality, you can tell. But, from the filmmaking to just how the characters communicate with one another. The show Curb almost seems like it's improvisational.
It is improvisational.
Yeah, so you don't work off of a complete script.
No, it's like 7 or 8 pages, when normally it would be like 30-something pages. Yeah. We make up all our dialogue.
Does that get hard for you ever? Or
Never.
never?
No.
Do you ever have regrets about what you say?
No, because if it's not good, we don't use it. Here, this is all here, There's no avoiding how I sleep and that I've been naked in a movie. I mean, there are so many regrets attached to this. The only regret I don't have is I met you, you're lovely, and helping Tony Sarandos is a lovely thing, but in general, I really don't want to be here.
Wow.
But no, having nothing to do with you. First of all, anytime you see me, even on the Goldbergs, just watch the Goldbergs or Curb and go, he'd rather be napping. Anytime you see me walking down the street in Beverly Hills, you can just look in your head and go, he'd rather be at home napping. I would. I love napping. Oh my God, I love napping. I can fall asleep anywhere. As a matter of fact, I can fall asleep in this chair.
Just not with, you need some pillows. Call it a day.
Nope, no pillows are necessary for my napping. Now, sleeping for the night, this would not work. But I could take a good 30-minute nap in this chair.
Now, here's the real question. Can you nap with regrets or no?
By the way, that's an interesting thing. The regrets only come when I sleep, and I try and avoid sleep. But napping, boom, anywhere. And I could even have just punched somebody and then go take a nap. Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah. So, back to Curb.
See, this is the thing. You got to stop doing that. You are wherever you're at. So we just went on a little thing. Just slip in the question about Curb. Don't say no. Now back to Curb. Because the one thing that I'll give you advice, don't follow any agenda. Just go where it takes you. That's the way we do Curb Your Enthusiasm. There's an outline, but we go where it takes us. Always do that. You'll be so much better at your gig. Don't worry about but this, but that. Just have fun.
Okay. So,
By the way, how long you were talking to me for 10 minutes before we started. You weren't looking at any notes. Get there.
I'm here.
Okay. So no, you wanted to ask me something about Curb? Just ask it.
Improvising in Curb. You said, you take it wherever, not back to anything.
See, look at the way you just did that. You didn't have to add a back to Curb. You just said improvising on Curb. Oh, look at you. You really are you're a daredevil.
You're changing me.
I'm changing you. Well, I like being a mentor. Go.
Have you ever done like extreme improvising where you've taken, the thoughts to places where you never imagined they would go?
Okay. So I love that you said extreme improvisation. Almost every night, whenever I do stand-up, I have almost no agenda. Sometimes a little, I'll tell that story. But in general, I have no idea where I'm going to go. And I'm almost always surprised. And about half the time, I have regrets.
Really?
Yeah, I have regrets.
Do you walk around and, go about your day with, like, thinking all about improvising? I mean, we do all improvise.
No, I'm thinking about when can I nap? What, is lunch coming up? I should get an apple right now. I'm hungry.
You sound like a high school kid. You'd fit right in here.
But that's another secret, too. So I'm 52 years old. You think you feel different when you're older? That's like the joke. When I was like 16 or 17, when I'm 30, forget 50. When I'm 30, I'm going to feel so different. I'll feel like an adult. No way. I feel like I'm 16. But I'm not. I'm 52. I know more. I still don't know much. Really, who knows how Hollywood works? Keep going.
So, I mean...
Are you lost? Do you need it?
No,
good?
I'm
Okay.
good.
All right.
I'm
okay.
good.
All right.
What scoop can you give us about, like, what have you learned from the different, no, not scoop, from the different sets you've been on, from the shows, from the movies? I mean, you've written things, you do your podcast.
Here's what I can tell you. Take what you do seriously, but don't take yourself seriously. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Have a sense of humor about yourself, but focus on this hard. How do you get better? You should watch all these interviews and go, what can I do to get better? How can I, whatever it is anyone here does, always look to how you can get better. But while you're doing it, have a sense of humor about yourself. A lot of people in this industry, I keep pointing here as if this is on screen. Oh, yeah, it is right behind me. Hi. Hi, Hollywood. Take themselves really seriously, and they're at a disadvantage against the ones who do take themselves seriously.
Is it hard for you to find that balance between, when to be serious and when to be funny? Being a comedian.
No, you just go with your gut, however you are. If you have a sense of humor, that's built in. I have trouble balancing being home enough for my family, when to work. I almost spend no time just screwing around. I love going to movies. If I could, I'd go to movies every day. I'm lucky if I can go to a movie once every 2-3 weeks, if even that. I watch a lot of TV at night to relax. I watch Netflix. No, I watch television every night, and it just relaxes me. And then I read a little and go to bed.
Yeah. But you were telling me before we started filming.
And by the way, that's me socializing or having excitement during the day. It's the end of the day watching some TV, I swear to God, because I work so hard and I really want to every day be connected with my family. So between those two things, I have nothing until the end of the day when everyone's gone to sleep and I just chill out.
So you work hard all day.
I work hard mostly every day.
Mostly
yes.
every day,
Yes.
all day. And
Yeah.
I mean, you were telling me before we started filming that you have been, doing comedy and everything else for over 30 years now.
32 years.
32
yeah.
years.
Since I was 20.
And you love it.
Love it.
So that gets you through the day. Do you go,
It helps
since you do it?
to do what you love. And like I said, when you do things for money, you always regret it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do what you love, there'll be money enough to survive, but you'll be a happier person if you just do what you love.
So when you
I
go
love that you sat like this as you listen to me. Go ahead.
So when you go through these long, crazy days and you come back and you watch TV, are you happy with your day? Do you
I don't think about my day, and I don't want to think about my day when. See, I look at my job. My job is to ease people's pain. So when they've had a bad day or just things aren't right, they're not feeling good, they can watch me do stand-up, they can watch a movie I'm in, they can watch The Goldbergs, they can watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, and for that 20 minutes, hour, half hour, whatever it is, they're gone. They don't have to worry about the stuff. So when I'm sitting at night relaxing, reading, or watching, I gave that as a visual, reading or watching television, I'm just escaping. I'm just like, I'm into whatever I'm watching,
Now, would you say that you ease people's minds and you're there to
Yes,
kind of...
that's my job, unequivocally.
Do you say would you say that that's the main reason why you're in this industry, why you act, is to, help people in that
No,
sense?
I'd be lying if I said that. That's the byproduct, which is amazing, and it makes me feel good. But the reason I do what I do is because it's what I do. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
He does what he does because he does it.
Well, no, because I remember years ago, I'll tell you a quick thing. So a friend of mine, his wife, no, he wasn't his wife. He said to me one time after a show, he said, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And I thought, I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So the very first time I ever did the David Letterman show, I was very nervous, hanging out backstage, and not on the side of the stage. And I was ready. I had prepared. I was so ready. And my friend's voice, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, calm came over me. And I went out and I killed. I had a great, which means it did great. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And that means I was always the funniest kid in school and all that. But I didn't think back then, I should do this because people need their pain eased.
Yeah.
That's just a byproduct. That is the byproduct. And it makes what I do noble.
So you say you've always been the funniest kid in school and
Yes.
that kind of stuff. What do you
Once
think?
when I was in elementary school, for like 2 weeks, this kid, Brent Pincus, I remember his name.
Pincus.
Yeah, now I'm remembering it. Everyone told me he was funnier than me. And it really
With a name
upset
like
me.
Pincus, you hope the
and
best
mostly
for
it was
him.
because of the way he laughed in class. Everyone would laugh, but he wasn't funnier than me. It lasted 2 weeks. I was back on top.
Back on top.
Yeah.
So you say you were the funniest kid. What do you think was, what made you decide to choose comedy?
Well, it's like if somebody goes out for the baseball team and they throw the ball 100 miles per hour, 98 miles an hour with a lot of movement, they think to themselves, maybe I should do this. Maybe I'm good at this. And they give it a try. Being the funniest kid the whole time, I'll tell you the moment when, there's 2 moments when I knew. 2, they're separate. One was when I was 8 years old. We went to go see this comedian named Jimmy Durante perform in Chicago. And on the way home, I asked my parents if that was a job. Because I was watching him mystified, in this nightclub. I couldn't believe watching the people laugh and everything. And I said, is that a job? And my parents said, yeah, that's a job. I said, that's a job that I want. And then years later, I remember being in 11th grade and still the funniest kid and had dreams of this and that. But I saw in 11th grade, I remember specifically, saw the Blues Brothers. And when I came out of the thing, I kept saying I'm on a mission from God, which is not funny to say that over and over. But I felt this connection of like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be like in the blue. I'm going to be like John Belushi. That was, boom. And I've stuck to that ever since.
That's great.
Yeah.
Was your family supportive of you wanting to go into comedy?
Not initially. My parents were, please go to school, have something to fall back on. And I'm going to say this. See, this is to be the controversial thing that I say in this, but I won't have regrets because it's the truth. Not that how I sleep isn't the truth, but it's that if I had something to fall back on, I might have fallen back on it because show business is the hardest thing in the universe. It's extraordinarily hard, and you will face adversity every other day. And if I had like a degree in something, I might have went, I'm going to go do that, because I thought about quitting along the way. But here's also the flip side of that in terms of you have to laugh at fear and adversity, because fear and adversity also come constantly. Successful people, it's not that they don't have fear, it's just that they acknowledge their fear. It's like before, someone said to me, "Are you nervous?" You did, right? Yeah, okay. And I made some joke that I'm terrified. But the point being is, there was a period early in my life where I was scared. But what I learned is if you are scared, just go, "Hey, fear, hey, anxiety, welcome." And it pretty much leaves you. When you say, "Don't be scared, you're going to be great, you're only building up the anxiety." So I just, when I face adversity or fear, I just keep moving forward.
Now, what do you think you said you almost wanted to quit a
Yeah,
couple
numerous times, yeah.
What do you think is the hardest part for you? What was it, the competition in the industry? Was it people
Never
not
the competition,
thinking you were
because
funny?
I always felt I was better than everybody else. So whether I was or wasn't, I had confidence, supreme confidence.
Pink me wasn't in the game.
But sometimes it gets hard because there aren't a lot of people in Hollywood that really truly recognize talent. That's why when you go see movies or you watch TV shows and you wonder how a certain person's on the TV show or in the movie, it's because somebody with no taste cast them or said, "Oh, they'll be good." Or they were having sex with somebody and they went, "Oh, I'll put her in because I'm sleeping with her." Oh, that does happen. Not. By the way, let me just say, I love pillows and I love napping.
Would you
I
cast
don't know where
them?
I was going. If someone gave me a pillow, I would give them yeah. No, go ahead.
So, fear, you stood up to fear.
I do on a daily basis. I stand up to fear, yes.
So you still,
I welcome fear. Come on, fear. Not the kind of fear of, an earthquake's happening. I don't want that fear. You know what I mean? I don't want that, but I'm talking about life's challenges, the daily challenges, the things that sometimes the fear paralyzes you. I just plow through that. And anybody can do that.
Great advice. What would you say is your life mantra?
My life mantra is, I meditate. I do transcendental meditation, and I have a mantra, but I'm not allowed to say it out loud. What would be my life's mantra? Really, my life's mantra is I don't know anything, so I just keep moving forward. I don't even know that's a mantra. Or take what you do seriously, but don't take yourself seriously. Or I like chocolate. That's a good one because everybody likes chocolate. I don't eat chocolate anymore, but I like chocolate. I haven't had chocolate for almost 7 years, but boy, I like it. I like pudding too. Chocolate pudding. Yeah, I'm big on that. Haven't had that for a long time. So that would be a mantra. So how's that? I like chocolate pudding.
It's a great mantra.
Yeah.
What would you say, specific advice?
So you're rocking right now. You're in the moment with me. You are just there. You're going to be very successful, see?
I don't need the paper. I'm
you
done
don't.
with it.
But you also studied that. You know it's there. It's like inherently there. That's the thing about learning lines. At a certain point, you just got to throw your script away because either you know it or you don't. All right, go ahead now.
So for people wanting to be in your position one day, to be, a successful comedian who's also, an actor, producer, everything you do, what specific advice do you have for those people, for the funniest kid in class, for that person?
Believe in yourself and keep moving forward. That's it. Do you know what I said adversity comes. What's the word that people use that you just keep going?
Persistence?
Perseverance.
Yeah.
Perseverance in Hollywood is not going crazy when nothing is going on. Because there's going to be a lot of days and weeks and months, maybe even years, where nobody's saying your name and nothing's going on and it feels hopeless. Don't go nuts, because the year after, the day after, the week after, whatever it is, people will be saying your name. Something will happen, but it just might not happen right when you want it.
And that's how you welcome fear.
Welcome fear, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming. That's how Hollywood works. That's how marriage works. That's how you live with regrets.
Yeah.
It's how
Oh,
a
no,
lot
listen,
today.
By the way, it's not. By the way, that's something I'm not good at, living with regrets. Although I let it go. I don't let anger and all that stuff. That leaves me. But yeah, I have too much anxiety. But I also think that you're born with that, and maybe you can. I don't know. See, I don't know anything. Isn't that the beauty? Most people my age think they know everything. I am so confident that I don't know anything. That's beautiful. That's what I'm here to tell you, kids. You don't know anything, and neither do I. Welcome to Earth.
Welcome.
Yes.
So I'm so happy you came today.
I am so happy. I came
You
today.
don't
and
regret
all
coming?
No, I don't. I do regret coming, but I'm thinking to myself, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there we go. And now you know he's done a naked movie.
I haven't done a naked movie. My tush was in a movie once, shooting a moon. It was a comedy. I was 20. Yeah, okay. Why did you bring it back to that? We had such a nice thing. We left that a long time ago, and then you brought it back
More
to
regrets. Now I regret it. That's something I'm
By
going
the
to stay
way,
up with
you
at
should
night.
you should lay in bed tonight and go, why did I do that? I'm not angry, though. Know that when you're lying there.
I'll regret it.
But you should regret it,
Yeah.
because I'm going to regret coming.
Oh, yeah, he's just full of compliments today.
No, I think, by the way, you're fantastic. You're adorable, and you are adorable.
And now this can't be posted
By the
anywhere.
way, let's also add this. Regret. I just swore on a high school TV station. But you are. That's the adjective that I throw in.
Thank you.
I tell your
I'll
parents.
take it.
What I tell you to tell your dad? What I tell you to tell your dad?
That I'm adorable.
Yes, and what else?
And go Cubs go.
And go Cubs go.
Go Cubs go.
I said that before we began, but now I've added an adjective onto it. You can tell him that.
Okay.
All right.
I'll make sure to do it.
Please do.
And that's
End
it.
this.
Okay.
No, but I'm happy to
heard
be
him.
here. Okay, so we're gonna stop filming.
Bye. That's it. That's it.
Okay.
You ended my show.
I'm Ted Sarandos, and you're watching Absolute KBEV. I'm Barack Obama, and you're watching Absolute KBEV. I'm Charlie Chaplin, back from the dead, and you're watching Absolute KBEV. I'm David Schwimmer, and I went here. I think, didn't he? I don't know. Okay.
Good.
I'm other. All right, and here, all right, I'll admit it. I'm Jeff Garland, and you're watching Absolute KBEV. Good for you.